Hey guys, and welcome back to the Cadillac Road to Glory. So last time out, we had a double header. We had race 6 and 7, the Canadian and the Austrian Grand Prix. And as you can see, we went from misery to history with an absolute stinker of a result of a DNF, a mechanical failure. And then we went on to get a podium in Austria, which was very, very nice. But this weekend, we have the... Oh, I really should have remembered. I think it's the Belgium Grand Prix, yeah, and it's going to rain in qualifying. But we also have a sprint race to contend with this weekend. And Spa historically has always been a good track for me on the F1 games, and therefore I'm really looking forward to this one. I always do well around here, so hopefully it goes well. And I also just watched the F1 movie, and I'll give a quick little review of that considering we're in the first couple minutes of it. All I've got to say really is it's basically a breaking point storyline. It's a breaking point storyline, but obviously real actors, stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. It had a nice balance of racing and outside of racing stuff. It was pretty much all F1 related other than a little romance story and a little bit of, team ownership stuff, but it was pretty much all F1 related and it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. I thought the racing was unrealistic though. There was a lot of stuff that would never happen in F1, but you can't really make F1 exciting for a movie. I mean, you can't have, because obviously you can't make every single race there's a 10-car pile-up, they're going to go from last to first. You can't, unfortunately, because that's not how it works. So they had to try and make it interesting somehow. I think they did okay. I'd give it an 8, maybe a 7.57 as well. I think it was a decent movie. I would happily go watch it again. I thought it was quite enjoyable. And yeah, just, a bit of a quick little minute review of the F1 movie. I thought it was decent. If you're a die-hard F1 fan and you're going to complain about everything, still go watch it, but you are going to complain because, that's not a realistic thing to happen. It's a movie. It's Hollywood. It's going to get people into the sport. It's going to get people talking about the sport, so why not? But we ended up getting a P6 in sprint quali, so let's go.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Tsunoda, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, and Colapinto, Behrman, Stroll, Ompmere, and Esteban Ocon. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony.
Sorry about that one, lads. Completely taken away from the hype of getting P6, which is actually a really good quality result. And I know we are pretty much one of the quickest cars now, so maybe we should have done a bit better. But I'll take P6 in the sprint. I will absolutely take P6 in the sprint. I can already tell you that next time out we have the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort, which is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that one. I've been top, I don't know. For the past few F1 games, I've been top 1 or 2,000 in the world. I mean, not amazing, obviously, but I've been top 1 or 2,000 in the world around Zandvoort for the past few years. So Zandvoort's a good track for me. I do enjoy it. It's a nice flowing circuit. It's just like a roller coaster. You just have to nail every apex. You just glide through it. You don't even think about the corners sometimes. You just do them. And it's one of those tracks that I just really enjoy. It's different to Spa, because for Spa, it's a slower track. When you come to the corners, you have to think about each corner. Whereas Zandvoort, you just fly through the corners, and it's a roller coaster. Spa, yes, you go uphill and downhill like a roller coaster, but it's just a lot slower. It's like a kid's roller coaster, but more built for straights. So, yeah, I do like both tracks though. And I have taken a few off the calendar this year, but next year we are going to do all of them and sim a few. So that's the little thing. 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix sprint, and it is. Lights out, away we go in a long hole, but we do get an alright start. A better start than Verstappen, but Piastri gets a stormer of a start, as does Ollie Behrman in the Haas, who goes down the inside of the McLaren. Ollie Behrman, look at him go. We're up the inside of Verstappen, back into P6. Piastri gets left out to dry by Ollie Behrman, so we're going to go sliding around the outside, up we go into Eau Rouge and Radion, oh my word, onto the Camel Straight, and we have just about lost the position. Piastri getting squeezed out there by the McLaren driver, but we are looking to get back at P5 or up into P5, and Ollie Behrman's going for P3 against, I think that's Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari. Look at Behrman go, he's going for P3 for the podium. He just about gets squeezed out by the 7-time world champion, and we are up into P5. Onto lap 2 now. Behrman showing that maybe he's not the quickest through the middle sector. We have caught up massively, and Hamilton's gone scampering off down the road, maybe showing the pace difference between the Haas and the rest of the grid in that middle sector. But he's got a bit of straight line speed about him, and he's got a good exit there. We're going to be under pressure potentially from Piastri. We're going to have to dump a bit of ERS, but we go gliding up Eau Rouge and Radion and onto the Camel Straight, and we are now right behind Ollie Behrman. Got a really good run, and now with DRS it should be a slam dunk overtake on the British driver, having a fantastic race though nonetheless. As we go round the outside, Ollie Behrman doesn't fight it too much. Purple first sector and up into P4 in the sprint, and by the time we get round to the last lap, we are now seeing Hamilton and Tsunoda fight. We are now only just catching them. Piastri and Verstappen were held up by Behrman for so long that they lost 7 seconds, so Behrman having an absolute storm of a race there, to be fair. I think Behrman's going to end up getting points. I'm not 100% sure, but I do sincerely hope he does. I think my teammate's also in the mix for the points in this sprint race. And as we come through now towards the final corners, there's not really much we can do. These guys are fighting, but we are too far back. We would have needed another lap or two, and we would have had them on raw pace alone, let alone the fact they're fighting. But round the final corners, we have a slide. It doesn't matter. We're under no risk. And that is going to be P4 in the sprint, which is not a bad result at all. So we will take that. Ollie Behrman in the end got P8, which is good for him, but Jarno Opmeer, even though he's a lower rated AI, only just slightly misses out on the points by a second or two, but he was under pressure from Lance Stroll, so maybe we don't have the best pace. But yeah, into the wet qualifying now, and it is fully wet qualifying now. The Belgian Grand Prix, a little bit of rain in Belgium does normally spice things up. This could be a very, very exciting grid. But we go a bit wide, and it's not ideal. But we're coming around the final few corners now. Brake really late, slide the car in to get it rotated. And we go round the final corner, sliding it again to try and get it rotated. Up to the line we go. It's a 2-minute 2, and it puts us a second and a half down on everyone else. But it was a really poor lap. We got to warm up to these conditions, and that is exactly what we do. We go for another run back to back, gaining plenty of time here on our previous lap time. 7 tenths up, it puts us 7 tenths, I think that's down still on George Russell, which just isn't great. My wet weather pace on this game is not ideal whatsoever. It's actually really bad. It's really bad. I can't remember what race it was. It was a couple of races ago we had a wet quali, and I actually had an alright pace, but that was a while ago now, so I don't remember. But we do need to hook up this final sector. A bit less of a slide, a bit more control of the car through the final 2 corners. It doesn't even gain us any time. As we come up to the line, it's only 8 tenths gain, even causing wing damage across the line, but it literally doesn't matter. We were last anyway, and by the time we're coming through, it's now intermediate conditions. Look at the amount of time everyone's gaining. We are now almost 6 seconds up on our previous best lap time. We will be by the time we get round to the final corners. The final 2, I'd say 2 hairpins, but not really hairpins. The final chicane, I think it's the bus stop, isn't it? We come to the bus stop chicane. I think it's the bus stop chicane, it better be. I'm not very good with corner names, I'll be honest with you. Come round the final corner. We're now almost 6.5 seconds up on our previous lap time, and that only puts us P18. Wow.
Welcome to this visit to the Ardennes countryside. Spa-Francorchamps hosted its first. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Esteban Ocon alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Lando Norris, and Albon. Hulkenberg, Behrman, Fernando Alonso, and Lance Stroll. Doohan, Bortoletto, George Russell, and Piastri. Hamilton, Antonelli, Jarno Opmeer, and Franco Colapinto. Gasly, Hadjar, Tsunoda, and Liam Lawson rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Well, it's been a long time since our last work.
I mean, to be fair, we're only one position behind our teammate Jarno Opmeer and only finished 2/10 off him in qualifying. And I definitely think with a better lap, we would have been miles ahead of him. But it was one of those where the track was improving. I couldn't really gauge how quick I was going. So I just kind of was just winging it in that lap. And obviously we couldn't go for 2. So yeah, we're just going to have to hope for a better race here. Let's see what kind of strategy we're going to go for. Because I actually didn't see, and it's been a while. So we are on the mediums along with our teammate Jarno Opmeer. So I think we're going to go for a one-stop from the mediums to the hards. Very, very simple one-stop race. I mean, the tyre dead could be bad, so we could always go medium, hard, soft as well. But we are just trying to start on a competitive tyre to try and get as good a start as possible. But it could be a very, very tricky start as a load of the people around us are on the soft tyres. I'll be hoping to make up a few positions into turn 1 at the very least, because that is the minimum expectation of Spa-Francorchamps Champs, is that you make up positions on lap 1 as the player. So maybe, there's a small chance we absolutely dive bomb it into turn 1, don't somehow kill ourselves and finish and get into the top 10. Because I know we have competitive pace in the dry, which is a good thing. We have competitive pace in the dry, but it's just can we actually get up there? Like, we're going to have to spend a lot of this race cutting through cars if we don't make up positions on lap 1. This is probably the most important lap 1 of the season. And it's lights out. And away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's a pretty decent start now. We are going to maybe get overtaken, but we're going to just launch it down the inside into turn 1. Absolutely full sending it. Using Hulkenberg as a brake. We get caught up on Nico Hulkenberg, but we're already in the top 10. And the 2 cars ahead of us are a Sauber and a Haas. So this could be another 2 positions coming up on lap 1. Here we are. This is it. This is the moment we get a really good run through Eau Rouge and Radion. And now we've got a chance of overtaking Nico Hulkenberg, who's trying to have a look at Ollie Behrman. Hulkenberg pulls out to the right of Behrman, we pull out to the left, and it's going to be a double overtake on the Camel Straight. And we go flying from B18 to B7 on lap 1, and the 2 cars ahead of the 2 Williams fighting side by side. This is perfect. This could be P5 on lap 1 potentially. Oh my goodness. We do get Carlos Sainz on lap 1 eventually. I think we launched it round the outside of that long left-hander that's pretty much flat. And now we go past Alex Albon, I think that was, on the straight, and we are up into P5 on lap number 2. And now eventually we do manage to lose Albon from the DRS range, and we are now in the DRS range of Lando Norris and Esteban Ocon in the Haas. They're having another stellar race, but we go round the outside of both drivers and up into the podium positions. A purple first sector. We have gone from P18 to the podium in a matter of 4 laps, and now we're looking for P2. What is this pace? This pace is ridiculous. We are up on lap 6 into P2, overtaking the reigning world champion Max Verstappen on his dying soft tyres. And now, on lap 7, onto lap 8, Leclerc pits from his mediums. He was miles clear, to be fair. Leclerc does have more pace than me. He's one of the only drivers that does have more pace than me. But he has more pace than me. And he is clearly the leader. But we are going to take the lead of the race, and we are going to be trying to make these tyres last for a one stop. And oh my word, it's perfect. It's actual poetry in motion. We have got a safety car. We are going to be able to take a free pit stop. We are going to have to try and go 14 laps on the hards, which I think is definitely possible, but we're going to have to try and do it. But this could be a race winning moment. This could be Cadillac's first race win, thanks to this safety car. And I think the safety car is because of a retirement for Nico Hulkenberg. We are on 50% where we would have gone a couple more laps to lap 10 maybe on these. We would have been over pitting around now anyway, pretty much. But into the box we come. Can we keep the lead after this safety car? We need a good stop. Can we get a good stop? It's going to be... It's an okay stop. It's an okay stop. But Leclerc, I think, is just about going to take the lead of the race. Yes, he does. Leclerc just about takes the lead of the race. But under safety car conditions, we are going to be right behind Charles Leclerc. So let's see what we can do on the restart. Let's see if we can take the lead. But Leclerc's absolutely dropped us on the start. It's a very good start from Charles Leclerc. He's not been able to be intimidated by the Cadillac behind him. We're going to see if we can go around the outside, out-braking ourselves a little bit there. But, to be completely honest. And that allows Leclerc to escape. But we do have really cold, hard tyres against Leclerc's pre-fresh mediums. And now, if you remember correctly, Leclerc did his first stint on mediums. Leclerc's guaranteed a 2-stop. Leclerc has got to 2-stop. which means that no matter what, no matter the fact that he's getting away right now in this race, Leclerc has got to box again. Leclerc is going to have to pit again onto another set of tyres. We are currently fighting Lando Norris for P2 and 3. We're a bit clear of Ocon and Verstappen, who have history themselves. There could be a bit of fireworks back there. But it's not bad. It really isn't bad. And, you know, Leclerc is currently out in the lead by 2.5 seconds. But he's got to pit again. He's got to pit again. So it really does not matter. And speaking of pitting again, I think on lap 14, Leclerc pits again, which means we are going to inherit the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. And due to a combination of Ferrari blundering their strategy and a lucky safety car, we have got, by lap 16, a very definitive 18-second lead over the rest of the grid. And oh my word, this has got to be the moment. And as you can see, on lap 22, we did lose 5 seconds. We do have 55% tyre wear on these hards, but we are coming around the final few corners. It doesn't matter about the lack of pace this weekend. Through a Ferrari blundered strategy and a lucky safety car, we are going to win our first race as Cadillac. Franco Colapinto wins the Belgian Grand Prix.
Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations. Well done.
What a performance this has been! A brilliant victory for Franco Colapinto.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
My oh my, is an F1 a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sport. Never did I think from last on the grid, we were, well, pretty much last. We went from 18th to 1st in the race. In the end, Otmar went from 17th to 11th, only missing out by about a second on points. And by the way, he beat Gasly to the line by a millisecond. So I don't know what was going on back there, but I couldn't actually see in the replay because we finished the race so much earlier, which is a bit disappointing. But in the standings, it puts us clearly ahead of Mercedes, but just not able to be in that fight with Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren. And yeah,
Okay,
what?
boss. Got an interesting bit of news for you.
We have been
a driver reach out
approached
to us to ask if we
by
need-
Max bloody Verstappen, the best driver on the grid, the current world champion, a 4-time world champion in real
Okay,
life,
I've said yes to an informal chat.
has
Let's
approached
get them
us
in,
and
tell
wants to
them all
join our
about
team
project and see what we
if
can
we
do.
want it. Yes, please, Max. So where do I give you my house and my mortgage and my 3 loving children? Yes, sir. Oh, my word. He wants a fan rating of 7, which is going to be pretty much impossible. It's hard. We are going to negotiate, but it's going to be hard. But we are now the quickest team on the grid, which maybe does make a bit of sense for Max to move to us now. But Max wants the move to us. Max is seeing the project. He's seeing the potential. And he's just gone and watched us win our first Grand Prix. What an episode. Approached by Verstappen and winning a Grand Prix all in one episode. This has got to be the best episode so far. I don't think anything could top this episode. What an unbelievable race the Belgian Grand Prix has been.